għal darbohra nilqawkom magħna waqt din il-cat show u ħankunu qegħdin niltaqgħu ma' personalità oħra li kienet qiegħda magħna waqt din il-show. Fil-fatt hija ġaġġ femminili din id-darba hija Thea, fil-fatt mhijiex l-ewwel darba illi kienet hawn Malta wkoll flimkien ma' Johan, però mid-darba l-oħra ma konniex iltqajna magħha bħala ma tkellimniex magħha ġifieri biex ittina daqsxejn informazzjoni fuqha, però llum qegħdin hawnhekk biex inkunu nistgħu nsiru nafu daqsxejn iktar fuqha u anke ittina l-opinjoni tagħha dwar il-cat show li qegħdin hawnhekk ġewwa fiha f'dan il-jum tal-Karnival fil-fatt. I welcome you on our television program, Thea. First of all, I would like to thank you for accepting having these few minutes with us for this interview. I was telling our televiewers that this is not the first time you've been here in Malta, but you were not lucky enough to be on our program. But this time, you're lucky, you're here. So we'll be having a little chat together. First of all, as I was saying, it's not the first time you're here in Malta as a judge, so maybe you can tell us a little bit more the difference between the first time that you were here and today that you're judging another set of cats.
My first time in Malta a few years ago was as a judge pupil. I wasn't a qualified judge at that time, but now I'm qualified in 2 categories already. The Siamese Oriental Shorties and the Shortie category.
Well done.
So from that point of view, it's a wonderful experience to be back and to be able to judge officially. And I've seen wonderful cats today. Although the Shorties and the Siamese Oriental group here is smaller than the long hairs,
exactly.
I've seen beautiful cats and beautiful examples of the breeds.
Yes, in fact, we have even foreigners today that they brought their cats from Italy, if I'm not mistaken, this time round. So obviously, you'll be seeing, you've judged actually already these type of breeds that obviously are not bred here in Malta, but they were willing to come over with their cats. So, as you said, you're judge for short hair so far and semi-long. So you had the experience of the long hair now, because obviously we have much more long hair during this show.
Yes, I've seen some of the semi-long hairs and long hairs, which are the majority today, but the minority is what I can judge. It's the Shorties and the Siamese Orientals. And there's only 1 or 2 I've actually seen Peterbilts in the SOSH group. And then in the Shortie group, I've seen exotics and Devon Rexes. So very interesting to see them around. And it's wonderful, you know, that a few years ago when we were here, I think there was 1 Bamilla, and
yes.
that was it.
Yes.
In those categories. So there's definitely development and progress to see more breeds.
Yes, in fact, short hair in Malta and semi-long, it's coming in these last few years being introduced here in Malta, because obviously the first, let's say, lot of cats that used to be imported from abroad was the long hair, excuse me. So it was obviously, as you said, the majority are the long hair, but we're seeing the shift now for the semi-long and the short hair. Obviously, sometimes it's like, I mean, we live in a hectic life, so sometimes you say, okay, I would like a cat, but I don't have that time to dedicate to a cat, to stay grooming. I mean, we know that the long hair need a lot of grooming.
Yes.
With the short hair, they need their maintenance, but not that much. So you can tell us a little bit more
about that. Yes, I think it's very easy for people to keep short-hair cats or the Siamese Oriental from the point of view that they don't need daily grooming. They also don't need daily bathing. So that is much easier. And then I think your shorties are in general a little bit more active also than the Persians. So if you have a large enough property, not living in a flat, it's a good thing to own a short hair, because they need some more space and place to exercise, etc.
In fact, even short hair are very comfortable for people that they are like, they don't want any fur around.
Yes.
So obviously you'll have these blessed cats.
Yes.
You still have these cats around with a little short hair. They are not quiet, because as you said, we know that the exotics, I mean, they are not
quiet. No, they are not.
quiet a lot. So But obviously they give you much love.
But in the end, it's a question of what do you prefer. Some people prefer a certain type of painting, the same with cats. It's very distinct personal choice.
Exactly.
And there are so many breeds around nowadays, and it's absolutely down to a personal choice, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
So what's beautiful for one person is not for the next.
In fact, for example, you have this Sphinx, it's a thing of you like it or not. I mean, there's not, you cannot have the way in between. It's a yes or a no.
Yes. But wonderful, once again today, to see in one of the elimination sessions in the Best in Show, there was a Peterbilt, almost bare, competing against the long-hair Persian. So it's the two opposites. To have them all together here on the show, it's fantastic.
Obviously, there's this standard, and it will have to be there. You have to be judging with regards to the standard. I mentioned the standard. Can you tell us a little bit of, in the beginning you told us a little bit of your judging experience. Maybe you can tell us when you started and obviously where you're going now.
Yes. I started 3 years ago officially. The background is I've been married to Johan, who you just interviewed, for 25 years. So for 25 years I was exposed to cats, raising children, having a job, etc. I never made my experience official. So he was always telling me to do a judge's course, but I never had the time. So 3 years ago I started my first exam, and a year after, the first exam was a SOSH, the Siamese Oriental Shorty, and a year after I did the shorter examination. Now afterwards, there should be a time period of 2 years lapsing between the first two exams and the third one. So I'm in that 2-year period now training to do the semi-long hairs. So I'm enjoying that very much, and I'm also seeing a lot of long hair cats while I'm busy with that. So my next exam will be the semi-long hairs, and the last one will be the long hairs. Yes, and then I will be an all-breeds judge. So all in all, it will take about 5 to 6 years to be able to train if you really do it quickly. In our country, there's not so many shows as in Europe. I think in Malta it's the same thing. There are not so many shows. In European countries, there are shows every week. In Russia as well, every weekend there are several shows, but in our country not. So we have to travel quite a lot to be able to get the student certificates, the pupil certificates. It takes a long time.
It takes a long time, but you're blessed that you're doing this thing with your husband.
Yes.
So it's like traveling together. It's really nice, something you're doing together, which is it complements the thing.
Absolutely. It's a great way of traveling and combining our love for traveling with our love for cats.
That's the ideal thing to have. Here they're making a lot of gestures, so we have to stop. It seems it's been nice having these few minutes talking to you with regards to your experience and the show. We thank you once again for accepting our invitation to come over to the show, and we hope that we will see you soon enough, let's say.
Thank you very much.
You'll be fully trained and you will be an all breed for us as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're more than welcome.